Hey guys, today I'm going to do a coaster fight. This is Batwing versus Nighthawk. And just want to let you guys know I'm using a new format. It's a speaker thing, so instead of just doing like the old thing I did back then, I'm not going to do that anymore because I feel like it was kind of stupid to do that. So I'm trying something new, which I'm pretty sure will work much better. But yeah, let's get started here. So Batwing versus Nighthawk. These are two Vekoma Flying Dutchmans. And these are the only two I've read. I still have yet to ride Firehawk at Kings Island, but these two are I've ridden. So let's compare these two, shall we? Let's start with the height of these two coasters, and both coasters sit at a height of 115 feet, so not terribly tall. So, but I'm giving them a 2 because compared to the max height, which is like 456 feet, this is like nothing. So, yeah. Let's talk about the drop here, and both these coasters basically have the same drop. You like kind of like curve a little bit, and then you like from a laying position to a flying position. So I'm giving both 5s. They're okay drops. I much prefer like drops are like more straight down, but I also prefer the B&M flyer drops. So yeah, I mean I don't think these rides are as good as B&M flyers. So let's talk about speed here, and both coasters go 51 miles per hour. Pretty sure. So I'm giving both coasters a 4 for speed. They're both like kind of below average compared to 128 miles per hour. They're both kind of about average. So yeah, so I'm giving them a 4. Oh boy, this is where the make or break comes. This is the smoothness. And Nighthawk is a very shaky roller coaster. When I rode Nighthawk, I mean I got the front row, but it was still very rough. I was shaking around so much, especially the last two versions. Ugh. This is why I don't like Nighthawk that much, because of the smoothness. It was just such a rough coaster. One of the roughest steel coasters I've ridden. I did not think Vekoma was that bad until I rode Nighthawk. So Nighthawk gets a 2. And then Batwing, I'm giving an 8. When I rode Batwing blew me away a lot because of how smooth it was. I found it to be by far smoother than Nighthawk. I don't understand why Nighthawk's smoothness is so different from Batwing's. It's just kind of weird. Like, Batwing didn't even shake. Like, Nighthawk was just so shaky. Man. So Nighthawk gets a 2, Batwing gets an 8. Let's talk about the elements here. So, Batwing I'm giving a 7 because Batwing has some pretty good elements. You've got, like, we're talking about the emergency, you've got a few overbanks, you've got a loop, which is pretty forceful, and you've got a double inline twist. Then you've got a helix, which I gotta say is very intense. It had a very intense helix. And Nighthawk kind of has a little bit of those, except it doesn't have a helix, and instead of the double twist, it has 2 corkscrews. And the corkscrews are probably the worst inversions I've ever experienced, or one of them at least. I mean, it's probably not as bad as an SLC, but Nighthawk's like the double corkscrew at the end of Nighthawk was so bad. Like, it was just shaking me around so much. But I'm still giving Nighthawk a decent score. I'm giving it a 5 because the vertical loop was pretty fun, and the curves were a lot of fun too. It's just that final corkscrew element really took it for me. So let's move on to intensity. And my thing with Nighthawk is because it's so rough, it didn't seem that intense. So Nighthawk's getting a 5. I mean, it was kind of intense during the loop, but not really though, which is kind of weird. Well, Batwing, on the other hand, was pretty intense. I thought Batwing was much more intense. It had a lot more like, it had more. I mean, these both pull some decent G-forces. They both pull 4.3, but Batwing, you just felt a lot more because it was much smoother. So Batwing gets an 8 out of 10. I thought Batwing was pretty intense. Not as intense as like a B&M flyer, but intense for what it was. Let's talk about duration here. And Nighthawk's about 1 minute 50, I think. Yeah, so Nighthawk's giving a 5. It's kind of okay. And Batwing's getting a 6. It's like 2 minutes, 2 seconds, I guess. I kind of forgot the duration when I was making the coaster fight. But yeah, that's the duration. So Batwing has a longer duration than Nighthawk does. Next up is theming, and Batwing is themed to Batman. The theming is honestly not that great. It's one of the better themed coasters at Six Flags America, though. But Batwing, like it seems a Batman. I'm guessing it's like its vehicle or something, or its weapon. I don't know. No, the weapon's Batmobile. I think the weapon that Batman has, I think, is a Batwing. I'm not sure. Yeah, Batwing like is of course themed to Batman, but there's not really much theming at all. So it's getting a 3. The theming at Batman the Ride is much better than Batwing's theming. Nighthawk's getting a 1 because Nighthawk is themed, guessing to a Nighthawk, but there's basically no theming at all whatsoever. So Nighthawk's getting a 1. Next up is talk restraints, and these coasters have some very strange restraints. I think you have like kind of like a collar, I guess, more like it's kind of like a beefy jacket, and also there's a lap bar because it secures your shins. I mean, they're not the most comfortable. They're kind of bulky, but I mean, they weren't bad. I mean, I definitely prefer the restraints and the B&M flyers over the Vekoma Flying Dutchmans. But I mean, they weren't bad, so I'm giving 5. They're okay. Next up, our final category is setting, and Batwing's getting a 1. It's just a field. Like, it's kind of like a boring field. That's where Batwing's setting is. It's kind of like, it feels like it's basically like in the middle of nowhere inside the park. So I'm giving Batwing a 1. Nighthawk, I'm giving a 10. This is where Nighthawk is strong. I mean, this is a relocated coaster, but you can't even tell if it was relocated or not because it's over water and it's very pretty to look at. The lake's honestly, the setting is much better than the ride. Even though I actually liked Nighthawk, Nighthawk was okay, but the setting is gorgeous. And yeah, so Nighthawk's getting a 10. It's kind of weird. Because Nighthawk probably got a lot higher now because of that final category. However, the winner of this coaster fight is still Batwing. I love the Batwing when I rode it. It was a great coaster. It was intense. It was smooth for Vekoma. It had a lot of great elements. Nighthawk just didn't deliver the potential that Batwing did. Nighthawk has so much potential, but just couldn't deliver it that well. However, that will do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Which of these two coasters do you prefer? If you have a comment, don't forget to subscribe for more videos on this channel. And have a theme-tacular day, everyone.